All right. So, welcome to Fat World School. And I think some of the students are missing because of whatever weekend reasons they have. Anyways, thank you for accepting this last moment request. And yeah, it's good to chat again. So, guys, here I would give you a little introduction about Pallavi. She is part of Women Entrepreneurs Club when I did start this in COVID times, and when I met a lot of amazing coaches from the Awakening group, which is the Pooja Puneet's life coaching group. And I think all of us got trained there initially. I think that she was my first mentor. For some of you who don't know, just go Google up amazing woman. So after that, we we are meeting now, and everyone, yes, welcome Pallavi in the chat box. Show some love, show some kindness, flowers, hearts, whatever. Okay, awesome.
Thank you so much.
So after that, I think we are chatting today in detail. So I would like to know from you, Pallavi, number one, that from those days, from COVID to now, how has been your journey? What is your evolution like?
Okay. Okay. First of all, thank you so much for the invite. And I'm truly, glad that I'm here and truly excited to be able to, share certain things that I have learned throughout my journey. And of course, I would love to learn and know, more about you all as well. So thank you so much. Yeah, so for the journey from COVID, so when COVID hit, I was in a horrible, horrible state. Not because I also got COVID, but right before COVID, I was an employee working at an IT company, and it was back then around 10+ years of experience that I had. My outside life looked amazing, like on site, salary raises and client appreciations and whatnot, and great projects. Loved the work that I was doing. However, one thing that has never worked really well for me while working in a corporate was a non compassionate work culture and often being treated like a computer or a robot, like a person, a thing that doesn't have any emotions. And that was not fitting very well with me, and I always thought that I should be doing something, to change this environment or change my industry or something. However, never took an action until right before COVID, and very horrible incident that happened to me while I was working. I just said that I won't be able to join the team for team lunch. And that offended one of my managers so badly that he verbally abused me on the floor in front of 60 to 100 people. And that too, a person who was working till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. that week just to finish a deadline. And that's why I said I won't be able to, join the team for lunch. That just like became literally a traumatic experience for me, and I couldn't recover from that for a year. So I couldn't go and speak in front of these groups. Any group, I would fear. I always felt that people are staring at me, and office, I became a robot. Sadly, I had to go back to that office again because I had 100 liabilities, responsibilities, and whatnot on me. I was the single breadwinner in the family, my own family. I was married, but me and my husband were doing good, but I had to take care of my family. So all that was happening, but the whole sad fact for me was I had to go back and join that same team, same company the very next day. But I literally became a robot. I would just go and do the stuff and, come back, wouldn't really connect with anybody. And that was kind of making me, hate myself to the core, because I thought why I don't have, passion, or, why I don't have a backup. And because it was 10 years of working in IT, I had forgotten, what all talent, or what all, I could do, to just pay my bills or stuff like that. That was my state, and I started with this. I was very impressed with people on YouTube. So they were earning, they were sharing that, whatever they are making. So I thought, okay, let me also try to find something which I can literally share on YouTube. With that thought, I started exploring certain things, and that led me to life coaching after a while. And I was like, wow, I just knew that I could do this. Like, I was already doing this, I was already part and parcel of the, industry in a spiritual way. But I wasn't doing it like a, formal profession. And when I got to know this, that I love helping others and I can do that full time, like, how crazy is that? That just was like, oh my God, moment for me. And since then, there's no looking back. I literally started searching for coaches and everybody. I found Jack Canfield, Pooja Puneet's mentor. So I did certification under him. And right after that, I started helping people, with a very formal approach, very step by step approach. And I got really crazy, transformations and, crazy results. And I did that for 2 years alongside my job. After a year, I quit that job where that incident happened. But I had to join another job, of course. I was still stabilizing my business, learning marketing, and all of that. And once I was done with that, and I started earning three times of my high-paying IT salary, I thought, this is it. I really need to quit now. So last year, July is when it is about to be a year, and I quit my job, and now I'm an entrepreneur. Yay, truly happy, about this achievement, which I thank you so much, which I never thought is possible. I come from a very lower middle class family. So, job, what I was doing was already like beyond what we could imagine. I was earning really high. That's what I thought, being in that, like being a kuhe ka mendak, just comparing with, people around me. I had no clue that, there is so much abundance in this world, and anybody and everybody who wants can, change their, middle class to middle class, or to a, whatever class, So I had no clue that, you can achieve financial abundance. You're coming from anywhere, you can still achieve it.
Awesome.
So that has been the journey.
Congratulations. This is amazing. I mean, um, I know what I mean, I've not done a single job, by the way, Pallavi. I have only interned when I was young, and I have, I mean, not it's not that I'm a Gujarati from a business family. My dad still does 9 to 5, and
Okay.
me and my brother are first generation entrepreneurs. But we had this decision made when we were in 10th standard that we don't want to do what Papa is doing. No. So, like both of us decided way back, and I'm so glad both of us are actually, we've both manifested our businesses. And, this is what but I know a lot of my girlfriends, they are just doing some this toxic corporate
Okay.
things, and, like the jobs that
So,
they
but
can we mute this person, whoever that is? Thank you, Harshi. Um, so, it's just like a lot of toxic things that I listen to them, and I'm like, I I'm glad I'm not there. You know, just like never been there, and I've been following my heart always, and I feel myself super lucky to do that. But I know how it is to transform yourself, because the transformation also comes from the darkness that you've seen in life, and that kind of work culture is darkness, I'm sure. And I'm glad I can see that how you're growing, and how, like I just like asked my student, I was like, how is it? She's like, amazing. I'm like, yeah, then now I want to talk to her again. So welcome back. So today we want to know from you, I've been like, again, this is my story that confidence was never lacking in me. I always was an action taker. I always was a risk taker. I was always like, pack your bags, leave the house. I always did whatever a black sheep in the family has to do. And so, I mean, I never lacked confidence. So when it comes to me, naturally, I cannot teach someone how that can come to you. So I wanted you to share with us how you can improve your confidence so that you can, excel in all parts of your life.
Sure. So to begin with, first of all, thank you so much for people showing love to me on the chat. And thank you so much, Rashmi, as well, for those beautiful words. And so confidence, before we begin with, I would love to ask everybody, like, what do you think is confidence? Anybody knows? What is confidence? I'll just remove my glasses if there is a glare.
I think it's a strength from within that we can face the world and express ourselves straightforwardly, what we have in our minds. That's
Okay.
what I think.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
right. What else?
Doing or saying whatever is right
Hmm.
is confidence.
That's right. Okay, somebody is writing on the chat. The courage to express yourself, do things you want, etc. Right. Everything that you guys said is absolutely right. And I would say confidence for me is this attitude that, we'll see. It's just that. So there is nothing like many people think confidence will come to me, it is like an object, or it is some different kind of a skill. It's none of that, right? Confidence is just this attitude that I am ready for anything and everything that is coming on my way. I'll see, I'll figure it out, I'll do it, I'll not stop my actions no matter what is happening. I'll take a decision, I'll work it out. It's that attitude, right? How many of you know Aman Gupta from Boat? Do you guys watch Shark Tank? you know he has this thing, whenever whatever happens, he said, hum bhi bana lenge. Do you guys know that? It's that attitude, right? That hum bhi bana lenge, hum bhi kar lenge. Something of that sort. So on that note, I would love to share, through some presentation as well, which I have prepared for you all. Rashmi, I need access. Okay. Can all of you see my screen? All right. Okay. So welcome everyone to Uncovering and Boosting Your Confidence. And I'm sure after today's session, you will be much more confident person than, wherever you are at the moment. All right. So this is not just a presentation, I would say. This is actually going to be a demo, okay, of how can you constantly be in that confidence. So how to be confident is the topic, and we have already started discussing a little bit what is confidence, and I hope what I just explained was kind of making sense. Yeah, show me a thumbs up if you're all with me. Like you can do it with your hands. Okay, thank you so much. So before we begin digging more into confidence, we are going to be, identifying what is that fear, that is coming on our way, which is kind of hampering the confidence, right? Awareness is the key. Everything starts with awareness. So I have digged a little bit, and you all are artists. So I have tried to find out 3 major fears that any artist have. Okay. And these are imposter syndrome. Is my art good enough? Will it be, will anybody like it? Or am I ready to start this business or something like that? Judgment, how people will see it, how people will feel it, what if people say it's not good, etc., etc. And failure, right? That what if I fail? What if I don't, excel in this business, right? So these are the major 3 fears that any artist have. And this is ChatGPT, by the way. So if you don't think your fear is lying in between this, ChatGPT. All right. So now everything is ChatGPT. All right. So for all of you, I really want you all to, first of all, be aware of what is that fear that is kind of hindering, with your confidence. So either it can be these 3, it can be any other. All right. Just write it down and park it for some time. Okay. So we all saw this attitude is what is confidence, like hum bhi bana lenge, or I can do it, I will manage. Right? So now, how do you get this attitude? Right? It's easy to say, just this attitude, but okay, I don't get this attitude. Right? So that can be your question. So this attitude comes from self-esteem. If you have higher self-esteem, higher self-worth, and you can ask me, what is that? That is just how you feel about yourself is your self-esteem, right? How do you talk to yourself? How do you see yourself? In what light do you see yourself? Do you feel you are good enough? Or do you always feel like, oh, I always fail. Everywhere I go, I fail. What is that? That you feel about yourself is your self-esteem. It can be in any respect, any aspect of life, right? So we can literally interchangeably use these terms, because if you don't have self-esteem, you can't have confidence, right? And confidence is completely generated from self-esteem. So now we'll go to some shocking numbers. Of course, ChatGPT. So here, ChatGPT, in fact, even Google says the same, that 85% of world's population is suffering with low self-esteem. Okay, so one or the other thing, right? Maybe you are confident at one side, maybe your self-esteem is good with one thing, but there is another thing where you are feeling like maybe my hair is not nice, I'm not looking good. Maybe your art is great, but you are not able to show your, face on the Instagram because you have lack of self-esteem there, right? So you need an overall everything, for having a good confidence, right? So 85%, can somebody do the math and tell me how many people or how much percentage is remaining after this 85 who will be having good self-esteem? Anybody good at maths? Absolutely. So it's just 15%, right? So ideally with this number, it feels like almost everybody, right? 15% is what? It's 2 less in front of 85. So almost everybody is facing this challenge of self-esteem, right? And how do you deal with it? So the formula is I lack. Okay, it's ILAC. I am totally lovable and capable. if you can get to this point, if you can talk to yourself, or you can convince yourself that you are lovable and you are capable, in your life, you will never lack confidence, self-esteem, and your life overall will change. All right. So how do you do this? How do you get to ILAC? One of the things we already did right at the beginning of the session where we were listening to the affirmations. You can add some affirmations for yourself. Right? It will just rewire your brain and you will be able to believe that. Right? So you have to feel you are lovable and you are capable. We'll work on this going forward. So before we go to anything, like we have demos, we have some activities, but before that, I would love to know if you knew, whatever you are doing, wherever you are feeling that maybe I'm not having that great confidence, whatever you are doing in that aspect, if you knew that you will be able to handle anything and everything that is coming your way, how would you perform there? How would you participate? Or how would you take yourself out to the world and express yourself?
Maybe we will be more extrovert than we are now, and we will globally expose ourselves and come in front of medias and all those, talk to people, do lots of networking and all those. Maybe that will we can do if we are confident in every aspect.
Right. Just give me a second. There is somebody who started drilling. Can you guys hear the drilling noise? No? Okay. So absolutely, Rohit, you are very right in what you said. So everybody, I hope, got this little difference, right? You will be very operating at a very different level if you knew you could handle it. Right? So, okay. So how can you operate at a different level? How can you operate at a different level? That comes from your response ability. Okay? So responsibility means it's responsibility. And I'm breaking that into two different parts, which is response and ability. Everything in the world depends on how you are responding to it. If you are fearful, what should be your response? If you are getting more and more fearful, you are only thinking of the negatives. That is your response towards the fear. If your response towards the fear is getting out of the fear, trying to do something, then that is your response which will take you out and you will be a different person. Right? So there is this equation which is very, very useful. Anybody and everybody can apply this equation in their life and find out how can you get your response better. So this is E is the event. Okay. E is event here. R is the response here. What is your response towards this event? And O is the outcome. What you want. All right. So E, would we all agree life is all about events? One or the other event. Right? So there are lots and lots of events that are happening. Our response towards that event is actually deciding what we are going to get as output. Right? So if there is an event that is happening and you know what you want out of it, like for example, you all want to be this greatest artists of the world. So there is this event that is happening. Maybe, the art business is suffering due to pandemic, let's say, which just went by, right? So now what will happen? The event is pandemic. Your outcome, right? What do you want out of it? Now, when you know these two things, all you have to figure out is the R. What should be your response? What should be your action so that you can get this, no matter what is the event? Event is not in our control, nobody's control, right? Outcome is what you want. You don't want compromise with that. Only then, if you are okay with the compromise, only then outcome is in your control, right? Otherwise, it's a desire. You badly want to meet it. And that's also, you don't want to compromise, right? So now what happens? Pandemic is there, an event is there, outcome is also fixed. Only response is in your full control. So when you decide that, all right, it's pandemic, I still want to start my art business, what should I do? What should I do differently? What I was not doing so far, what should I explore? Is there anybody on this planet Earth whose art business is working? Keep doing, keep looking for a different action, a different response, right? And then you will find out that there are always n+1 responses. Maybe n you have tried, there always will be one which you have not tried. This is magical. You will always find one or the other thing. So this equation helps you to get to a better response, and that changes everything. That changes the whole game for you. And that exactly what changed the game for me as well. I was sharing in my, story. And I'm sure that's exactly what Rashmi has also done, right? We both met during the pandemic, right? And since then till now, a lot of things has changed in her business as well. Right. And I constantly see her, doing one or the other thing. Right. So she's constantly, maybe she's aware, she's not aware, not sure, but she's constantly looking for a different response, which will get her to whatever her heart desires. Right. And exactly same thing everybody can do. So it's the right response that will reach to the right outcome. It's together. All right. So that's one thing that you can do. And we have almost applied, the responsibility to the to the examples. So another example could be like, maybe if you have an imposter syndrome, you have uncertainty, you have a fear of letting down, others, then just apply the equation and see what better you can do. What different can you do? Just be, open to all kinds of possibilities. Be open to, work hard. Initially, everybody has to work hard. There is no choice, right? So that's what you need to do. Just look for a different response and you will find a different path altogether, right? So don't be stuck at one point. Next thing that literally enhances confidence and your mindset and everything is positive focus. So positive focus means, can again somebody do the maths and tell me if there is anything that's happening in your life, right? So how much possibility it has or how much probability it has for getting you something good out of that situation or getting you something bad out of that situation. So how much probability does each positive outcome and negative outcome has? You can unmute or you can just share it in the chat. It's a maths question. 50%. Absolutely. Sheena is so bright. So that's right, right? So it has 50-50 chances. But what we do is, like human beings, we only see the negative 50. What if it doesn't work? What if this doesn't happen? What if I get stuck? What if? And we are never seeing the other 50. what if everything just works out, like magic, right? We are never thinking about the positive. And where this positivity has to be applied, it has to be applied to your mind. Be very, very conscious of what you are thinking, what you are talking to yourself, what you are telling yourself. Are you good enough, or constantly you are criticizing yourself? What is there on your mind? What are your patterns? What are your beliefs? Like one I had that, lower middle class, I'll have to stay like this, right? I never thought I could break that, right? So those are the things that I'm talking about. Be very, very conscious of, what you have on your mind. I'll take the questions in a while. What are you imagining? Are you always imagining, the negative? Or do you have the positive imagination as well? Right? What are your emotions? If you're constantly feeling guilty about something, if you're constantly in a negative zone, having resentment, you are doing things just because you are angry at somebody, or you want to show somebody, of course, you can't feel good about yourself. Right? So accept your emotions, learn from the events that are happening, and don't stay there. Keep moving. The more you keep moving, the better it is. You will find solutions on the way. Right? So accept your emotions, accept your body. Many people, like, most of the people in today's era are not very confident about, something in their body. Right? One or the other thing they have challenge with. And when you constantly keep telling to yourself, no, I don't look good, then obviously you will face a challenge coming in front of camera, because you will think, oh, I only don't like me. How will others like me? Right? So this kind of, keeps hindering inside your mind when you try to do certain things out of your comfort zone. Right? And always try to look for intuitions. What is happening? What is that my mind is telling? What is my gut telling me? Sometimes it so happens that we get a brilliant idea, or we have a great, like a very high, strong intuition about something. And what happens is we don't do it because of lack of confidence. Right? So trust your intuitions. It is taking you to some great places. And these are the places where you actually apply positivity, positive focus. Your mind should be, as much as you need the negativities, like, you obviously negative, and you think negative, it just means that probably you're not better prepared. You need to prepare. Feedback always have fear always has a feedback for you. So prepare well and go ahead. All right. So these are the places where you should apply, positive focus, and just be very mindful of what you're doing throughout the day. And every day. It's not, oh, one day I did it. It's not like that. It's every single day, lifelong. Sorry. That's how it is. Right? Rohit, you had a question?
Yeah. Actually, I was saying that that in the 50-50 ratio, when we decide the bad and good consequences, so often it happens that we relate the consequences to the past. That what must have been happened in the past, that will repeat, and that's why our consequences, the negative consequences, become the higher percentage. So that's
Right.
means mostly that happens.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because there is a mental pattern that has been created because of the past events. Right? So,
Yeah.
so when you say to yourself, or when you imagine, start imagining this for yourself, that, oh, in the past also I failed, maybe 5 times I have failed doing this, So first of all, I would say that notice it, capture it somewhere, do the journaling, or, write it somewhere. You have to be aware of this. So I see you are aware, which is a good news. If you are aware, the second step is just add, or write it down, like, 100 times, like in schools we used to write now. I will never
Right.
repeat, right? So write that up until now, up until now, I didn't succeed in this, right?
Okay.
Up until now. It's not a fact that I will never succeed. It's just that up until now, I have not, right? So now what will happen? Your brain will start recognizing that it was happening just up until now. And it gives you a hope instantly that going forward, there can be many, many things. There are many possibilities that are, open for you. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
I'll
that's
try
great.
that.
No problem. Of course, these are very, very, of course, this is a part of my program. And then there is a lot more that we, do in deeper level. But here, of course, time constraint and everything, I'm giving whatever, works fastest, and I can also explain in the shortest possible time. So, that would be it. But, when we actually sit back and work on it, there are lots and lots of things that come out, and we do work, patiently, at least 3 months to 6 months, time period. So yeah, that happens. Okay, so again, the next fear that was there was judgment. What people will think, people will laugh at me, what they will say behind my back, all that happens, right? So again, if you have the positive focus, right? If you have the positive focus, like if you do mirror activity, another very important activity, you can just go to the mirror and compliment yourself, right? Every single day for what you did good in that event. Maybe we also feel now, some days we go to the stage and we fumble, we forget certain things. So we feel like, oh my God, how can I do this? We also be very, self-critical, right? But you went to the stage, right? How many people can do that? So just be happy, go to the mirror and literally compliment yourself if nobody has done it for you, like external validation you haven't received. Please do it for yourself. You will see a massive difference, right? You can literally take compliments from yourself. That is a completely valid thing. It is not called self-obsessed. All right. So do this mirror activity every single day. Just go to the mirror and compliment yourself for things you did nice in the day, and something, if it is bothering you about some judgment or something, specifically in that particular, area, that particular event, compliment yourself. If you get any testimonials, I have found the best use of testimonials is this: whenever I feel low in my life coaching, something happened or business didn't work, or I launched something, it failed and everything. Of course, you start feeling like, oh my God, what is happening? I'm not good enough and all of that. I'm also a human being. So I just go back to these testimonials and I start reading what people are saying. These, these have been, these transformations have been created by me. So yeah, I start loving these. I go and I keep checking on my client wins. So that just makes me feel much more better and gets me back to the, positive focus, right? Another thing which was there, it is like, complete your things. One of the things why you feel you will be judged or something, because probably you don't complete things, right? You leave things hanging in between decisions, certain tasks, or anything. It can be anything. In your home, there is something that you are constantly watching, but you're not taking action towards that. If you have anything incomplete around you, look for it and keep doing it so that your mind gets trained that, oh, Rima is a finisher. Gopika is a finisher, right? She does complete, he does complete things. That enhances your confidence, because then whatever comes, you will get it done, right? So that's what happens with this. We'll keep moving. Set aligned goals for yourself. So there is a short story that I would like to share. There was a competition where 3 different animals were there, and 2 animals knew how to climb the tree, and then there was a fish. And all three were judged, on the basis of how well they climbed the tree, right? And the fish also kept on trying to fit to those animals and try to climb the tree. And fish constantly failed. Slowly, fish started thinking that I'm not good enough. I will never be able to do it. I am useless. So all I want to say here is look for your expertise, look for your talent, your skills, what you are good at, passions, and everything. And based on that, create a goal. Don't just look around to other animals, human beings, creatures, and just try to, be like them. Identify what you are good at and then work on it. You will never feel sad about yourself. And you will be much more confident in that. And one of the hacks that literally worked for me is I just keep looking at, I want this. No matter I'm failing, I am not getting results, whatever is happening, I don't stay there. I just keep looking towards, I want this. What more can I do for this? It's almost the same equation that I just told you, that keep looking for a better response, keep looking for a different response. So that literally helps me to get out of that, negative phase, and helps me to constantly just keep looking at what do I want. Of course, affirm and visualize whatever you want in your life. If you feel like, oh, this is not possible or I won't be able to do it, affirm and visualize. This is really deep. It's not, you can Google it and you can start chanting, and it doesn't work that way. It is a very deep process. And of course, for the time being, I'll have to just leave it out to you. Like, Google and, affirm and visualize. It just probably works 20-30%. It doesn't work that well. So I'll leave it there. Still you can do it. 20-30% is not that bad, right? To things which you think is not possible or you are feeling fearful about, do the affirmation. You will definitely start feeling better. So third is fear of failure, getting rejected, and past experiences that we were talking about. So in this, what we can do, so we'll understand a little bit of, science, what is happening. So whenever you are in state of fear or anything, it is from your back of your mind, which is called as limbic brain. And this brain is so powerful that it completely, controls everything in your mind and body. It will not let you take action. Okay. And then there is a prefrontal cortex, which is at the starting, like, it is here, it is a logical, analytical mind. So the focus has to shift from the behind, like, subconscious or the limbic brain to the prefrontal cortex to be able to get out of the fear or any negative emotion. All right. So what you can do whenever you get a failure, you get rejected, you have any past experiences, one of the tools I have already given. So what you do is you get out of that place and you start taking action. So when you take action, this side of the brain gets activated. So this brain stops. As soon as this brain stops acting, the fear stops. So it just switches, right? So look for an action in that moment. Okay, I am damn scared of, getting into the stage, getting onto the stage. What can I do now? Get into action. Start jumping and, doing. Tony Robbins does that. He's still fearful of the stage, at times. He has shared it. My mentor, Jack Canfield, does that. Get into some kind of action, be it a normal exercise kind of an action or be it a real solution to that problem. Get into action. Okay, so that would be it. And universe always rewards actions. Just take the action, leave it to universe, and let universe reward you in unimaginable ways. Does that make sense? Can I get some yeses in the chat, please? Okay, that's amazing. So I know there are people. All right. So universe rewards actions. And with that, a couple of facts. I hope, like in this room, there are no cardiologists. And that's what I want to say. I thought everybody will be artists. And that's on the basis of this. This is not ChatGPT. This is my own thing that I did, taking the whole credit. So we are not cardiologists. You know, if you're feeling fearful of doing something, we are not cardiologists. And one wrong action will not kill anybody, right? So go ahead, experiment with your actions. We are not magicians that everybody will enjoy our shows. So maybe certain times people will not like it. Just accept the fact. We are not genies. We will not be able to change everybody and everything around us. Right? Also, we are not mangoes that everybody will love us. We are not superhumans. Right? There are things which are not in our control. And don't try to control them. Many a times we lose our confidence because things are not going as per we thought. Right? And we are not gods. I hope everybody is aware of this at least. Right? So what you think may not come to reality, but there is one thing that is for sure, that if you keep moving, you will get wherever in life you wish to reach. With that, it comes to an end. I have 5 more minutes before I have a session. If anybody has any question, please let me know. And of course, if you have more questions, I'll be happy to help on, Instagram. You can ping me there and, or on my WhatsApp. I will be happy to help you there. Any questions, anybody?
Guys,
Maybe
you
one
can
or two
raise your
questions.
digital hands.
Yeah. Yeah, Rohit?
Yeah, so the session was really wonderful. I got some hacks that will be really helpful for me. So I will
Thank you so much.
definitely try all of those. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for that. So I have a question that these days that corporate cultures are being very worse. So in every organization, there's something that some bad politics and some, this unknown persons are creating so much poisonous, toxic environment. So how to get rid of that situations? Means how to get, are we going to stay connected over there, or I have to just get out from it? Because I was like in the same situation as you were. Like I just dropped my job 5 months ago and completely dedicated to this, entrepreneurship, art entrepreneurship. But the thing I experienced that whenever I started with a new job, it went well, but gradually it becomes most toxic that sometime or the other we feel that no, that's it, we have to give up. So what is happening actually? Is this that the energy or the something that in the environment that is not working? What really happening? Because I have lost something that job is not a cup of tea. Is not my cup of tea. So is it right or something we can manage ourselves to do it right?
Right. I'll tell you. So there is a life purpose that everybody has, right? Everybody is born with a life purpose. And so our lives or our events of our lives are literally pushing us towards that life purpose, because universe wants us to do something, right? And Rohit, if you are stuck doing that job which universe doesn't want you to do, it will give you challenges. I took 10 years to realize this, that I can't make this work atmosphere compassionate. I have tried everything. I was in a spiritual path. I'm a Buddhism practitioner. I did every single thing. I did see a lot of results, but still I saw enormous amount of gaps. So I've tried this for 10 years and take it from, who has tried this and not speaking just like that,
Yeah,
So,
right. Sometimes I
yeah,
feel that universe makes that situation that we should come out of it and we should go in the right path. So I
right.
think that sometimes. Yeah,
Exactly,
right.
exactly. And you see if, so I was pushing it. So universe gave me this hint from the minute I joined that company. From the start, it was not going well for me, like not company, whole industry. As you said, I also hopped on to a couple of jobs and, same situation. So universe really is guiding you. So, if you are thinking you have tried enough and things are not changing, that's just because it is not for you to change, So you see where your happiness lies, and that's your life purpose, right?
Right.
So that
Exactly.
would be the answer in short.
Right. Thank you so much, Pallavi.
No problem. My pleasure. Yeah, Aparna.
Yeah, hi. Thanks so
Hello.
much. Hi. So, this is such an apt topic for me because the problem of my life is only my confidence. I have had so many opportunities to take up projects, I studied fashion. I got a very good offer through my dad's friend to design for a serial at that time. I even made sketches, but then I just backed out of it. And for example, right now also I've already discussed with Rashmi also. So I was planning a watercolor workshop. So I'll get very excited and I know it'll be very good. I have the capabilities. I don't even have the
Hmm.
self-esteem problem. But now the moment I planned it, now I have butterflies in my stomach. I want everything to be perfect from the thing. And because of that, I do not move forward. Then I feel like forget it. I don't want to do it. And even though you've
Hmm.
given us a very good presentation, but there has to be some more way for me to get over this confidence because it's
Hmm.
just not, I'm not able to get over it.
Right. Of course, as I said, these are, very short, hacks, and, I can't, cover everything. Also, this is very, something very personal to everybody, right? So I'll have to see that what exactly is there in your beliefs. So for that, I'll have to literally sit back with you and, have a very deep conversation, and then only I can literally, pick and pluck your those beliefs and stuff like that which are hindering, which are coming here. But if I can say anything here, it's the perfectionism. So why do you want everything to be perfect? Can you tell me?
I think that's the way I was since a child, like I was a topper in school. I think that is the worst thing. I have always told my children that I don't want you to top in school because there were
Right.
so many expectations from the principal, from the thing, Aparna, you are our thing to get the
Hmm.
highest in the thing. And if it's a quiz competition, Aparna will take part. If there is an art competition, Aparna will go from our house. So many expectations have been there, and I've always, so it's a childhood thing which is just like not
Hmm.
been able to get out of me.
Hmm. So, what if Aparna today you take a project? Okay, you
Hmm.
take it, and what happens if you don't make it perfect? What will happen? What is there, that is coming to your mind?
I've never thought of that because I will make it perfect
Hmm.
first only.
No, you can't make it perfect. You will fail. Let's say, I am a astrologer and I have predicted that. Now, go to that stage and tell me that, what is your feeling? You have failed. Let's say, what is your feeling?
I've not experienced it. That's why I'm not able to get over it. I think maybe that's the reason why. I mean, right now when you're saying it, I'm realizing that maybe I have not I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a big success. I mean, I would have, if I had confidence, I would have been somewhere else right now. But maybe I've not, I have tried things only where I know that, okay, I will not fail. I have not gone and tried things where I know that, okay, even if I fail, chalta hai. I've not tried something beyond that.
Hmm. Okay. So when you said you get butterflies in your stomach, have you tried to decode that feeling? I know it's a bodily feeling, but
Yeah.
what is that inside your head? What is that thought? I know it must be like, I will fail, but okay, what happens if you really fail? What will change for you?
Nothing.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, nothing will. I don't know. I really don't know. I've not really thought about it.
I think you needed the last slide that we are not cardiologists. So one mistake that we make, will not change anything in the world, right? So I would say that here there is a deep fear, or there is a people pleasing attitude, that, oh my God, my principal's expectation, my parents' expectation, my so and so's expectation, I have to live up to. And you won't believe, perfectionism is one thing that literally stops hundreds of people's progress. So there is a very deep fear that you probably have in your mind that if I fail, something will really, probably you feel like probably I'll never be able to get up from there,
Yes, correct.
right?
Then I will just leave that. I will never touch that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So exactly, I would say that start taking, I was like this, by the way, in my office, I was like pitch perfect. Nobody can, give me a remark, feedback, whatever. I was very like overconfident, on that terms. And I used to put in efforts as well. But I started taking small steps towards, leaving this perfectionism. And that's when I could really progress. And that's when everything changed in my life. Of course, my life coaching tools that I learned literally deeply helped me in that journey. But I would, for the scope of this session, I will say that start taking certain imperfect steps. Start
Okay.
training your mind that, even if I fail, even if I don't do anything very, very perfectly, change in the world. Right?
Okay.
So start training your mind not to be perfect. We don't need perfectionism is a myth. You can never reach perfectionism.
I say perfectionism is it's a disease.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Pallavi, do you do any kind of workshops? If I mean, do you think you can help me get out of this? Because it is a very deep-rooted problem now that I'm discussing it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so maybe I'll get in touch with you then.
Surely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. With that, I'll have to rush. I hope the session was helpful and you guys got some value out of it. Okay,
Awesome.
I see some.
Yes.
There are some messages there, guys. I want Pallavi to see how amazing and a buzzing community we are. Go write your 3 key takeaways from this class. I'm sure it was, it was helpful, and I think there's this deep-rooted, things that you need to go and work, and it's called the shadow work. And I've been giving this, perfectionism lecture to all of them all the time. So, I know there's this deep-rooted thing is just within you. You have to work towards it.
Right.
And that shadow work, when you start doing it, you will start looking at yourself and say, okay, I accept myself as I am. That is number one step, to accept as you are. Aparna, for you as well, darling, I would want to say that, yes, awesome. Now you say, yes, this is inside me. There's something inside me which is stopping me from, doing that. And then once you, okay, I am witnessing it. Now I'm watching it. I accept it. What can I do to change it? And the minute you say to the universe, what can I do to change it? The universe will give you an answer to change it. Yeah.
True. Absolutely.
So it was wonderful, Pallavi. We can do this sessions like again and again and again. It is so amazing, like, to have these conversations. And thank you so much for taking this last moment request. Thank you, Hershey, for doing this. And all of you, thank you all for your time. Write your key takeaways, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye for now.
I would love to say that it was wonderful. You have an amazing community out there. I enjoyed every bit of it, and I love the questions. And you all have a bright future that I'm sure of. And with that, thank you so much.
Bye for now.